97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
We want to submit to you that the leaders of Africa are guilty. We, the population, are also in equal guilt. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God and of our country. Because whenever we are given an opportunity to engage in elections, we elect individuals on the basis of their ethnic extraction and on the basis of the depth of their pockets. The question is, should we even be allowed to vote? This is an uncomfortable question, but it's a question that we must now ask. Many African countries are engaged in something that we call democracy. But what is democracy when democracy is franchised in Paris in the same way that French fries are franchised to us? What is democracy when the kind of democracy we are talking about is democracy that is franchised in Washington, D.C.? Many African countries do what is in the best interest of their former colonizing powers. If you are colonized by the Portuguese, you look to Lisbon. If you are colonized by the Spaniards, you look to Madrid. If you are colonized by the Belgians, you look to Brussels. If you are colonized by the English, you look to London and the Johnny-come-lately of the Anglophone world, the United States of America. Indeed, the tragedy of Africa is that we have allowed ourselves to be abused. We are the only continent in the world that commentators refer to in terms that have failed and refused to embrace. That there is an Africa called the Francophone. And when you go to those countries, it's actually the minority who speak French. That there is an Africa which is called Anglophone, and when you go to those countries, it's the minority who speak English. That there is an Africa that is called the Lusophone, and when you go to those countries, it's the minority who speak Portuguese. The tragedy of Africa today is that Africans actually marvel. Those who colonized by the British actually are proud that they are better than the Portuguese because Portugal is a backward European nation. And those who are colonized by the French are equally proud. We of the Negroid race are saying that our slave masters are better than the other slave masters. It is a tragedy of gigantic proportion, and it is because we who are present here across Africa, whether one is talking about Johannesburg, South Africa, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, or Tunis in Tunisia, or Dakar in Senegal, or Freetown in Sierra Leone, or indeed any other African capital, we have failed to seize the opportunity. And because we have failed to seize the opportunity, our young men and women are drowning on a daily basis in the Mediterranean Sea, where they are running away from our countries to go to Europe and asking the erstwhile colonizers, enslavers, colonize us. We are tired. We want to come back to the fleshpots of Egypt. The tragedy of Africa is a tragedy that will be told for a long time, and it's a tragedy that we must do something about. Today, we who are present here must ask difficult questions. We must ask ourselves, why is it that if you look at our government formation, we have things that look like organized power? Every African country has a president whose photo must, as a mandatory requirement, appear on the walls of shops. And if they don't, you are punished for it. All of us have presidents who you must address as Your Excellency. And if you don't, you'll be punished for it. We have parliaments complete with individuals that we call MPs. And we elect regularly on a daily basis. And they must be addressed as they insist they must be. Honorable. We have judiciaries where their judges trained and they insist that they must be addressed as my lord. And we address them, yet corruption is alive and well. Yet injustice is alive and well. Yet the rule of law is conspicuous by its absence. What is the problem of Africa? That we are formed without substance. You and me know that in agriculture that we have talked about, we cannot feed ourselves. In the health sector, we cannot treat our people. I've said it before and I say it now. Many of our countries have been generating graduates from their medical schools. We have our hospitals populated by doctors. But if you ask the president of any African country when they have a cold, that they should attend the public hospital in their own country, they'll refuse. They'll tell you, I'm not suicidal. I must go to Europe and America. What has happened to us is the Hollywood actors that we love, Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. The Nigerians only mention Jackie Appiah and Nadia Buhari and John Dumelo when they are forced to do so. It is not Bollywood that we love, it's Bollywood that we love, it's Hollywood that we love, not Nollywood, not Bongowood, not Riverwood. Our scientists are only happy if they are recognized by the Nobel Foundation. Africa has no faith in herself. When you love them which football team they love, they'll tell you every name of every English player alive, and what they did, and what they eat, and what they like, and what they don't like. It was always a battle of the mind, and those who have lost that battle in the mind will fail 10 out of 10 times. And I want to submit to you that indeed that is the tragedy of Africa.